Hello and welcome back to an episode of Marvel Mad. I'm your host as always, Dwayne the Captain Coffee, and we have another Marvel Mad review. And this time, oh boy, right. We did do a review of the trailer up on our channel. I think it was me and Nate back ages ago now. I think it was end of last year, I think, when this film actually come out. But we're talking about Venom: The Last Dance. I finally sat down and watched it begrudgingly because there was no way I was going to the cinema to see it, and I've got a lot of things to say in it because it was just messy. It was bad. It was just all over the shop, and it just had no ideas at all. Now this is why I've been saying for ages, Sony just need to go, here you go Disney, just take it off our hands, because the only thing that's really making them any sort of money now is Spider-Man itself. And they tried to do this stupid Spider-Man universe, Sony universe thing on their own, and it's just not worked in the slightest. But we'll get into it and we'll talk, because it's just so bad, so bad. So let's talk about the story, at least whether it's supposed to be of a story sort of thing. Anyway, The Last Dance is supposed to be like the grand finale of Tom Hardy's Venom and his trilogy, but it just feels like a load of ideas that just jumbled up together and gone here, and it has no payoff, no connection, no real weight behind anything at all. They throw in a few cheap gags here and there. Yeah, the gags I was saying, I forgot to mention it in the actual video, but the gags I was saying, like, they tried to have like a Venom fish, a Venom frog, the Venom horse. They were just pointless. Like, then obviously all the gags in there as well, but they threw them in there just to go, oh, this is so funny, this is so good, having a Venom fish or a Venom frog and a Venom horse. No, it was pointless. It's so frustrating. Like, for me, and we'll get about them when we do some more reviews and that lot, but the first two Venom films, brilliant. Venom and Venom Let There Be Carnage, I absolutely adored them. But this one let it down somewhat spectacular. The pacing was all over the shop. The characters make just stupid decisions, and by the time they reach the climax of like, all the symbiotes working together to like fight this, like they're basically like Xenomorph alien things. Like you'd rather see an Alien versus Predator or something like that than this sort of film. It's just nothing. It really is pointless, that lot. But again, we'll chat all about that lot. Now, where it gets really messy in that lot is, remember the last time we seen Venom? It was the end of Spider-Man No Way Home. Well, yeah, end of Spider-Man No Way Home. He'd come into the Spider-Man universe. He'd dropped a bit of like symbiote on that bar, and they'd like he gets taken back again, transported back to his own universe, and we'll just leave it there. Now this, especially in the trailers, they try to completely retcon that. And in the trailers, it looks like it's the same bar, the same universe. They've got the symbiote and everything. They completely try and mess it up. But what actually happens is when he transports back, is in the same bar with the same person, but it's in the Sony universe, and these soldiers come along, capture the symbiote there, but it's in Sony's universe, so technically that symbiote is still in the Marvel MCU universe. If you get me, it's honestly, it's all over the shop. You think you was expecting to see Tom Holland, and like have that interaction with Spider-Man, but nothing at all. Now, like, they just completely ignore all that. It doesn't even really get mentioned or anything, and they could have connected that so much, but they just didn't. It just like it didn't even matter. And it was one of the biggest missed opportunities they could have done. Like, I know you had Spider-Man No Way Home and that was a closing for him and stuff like that, but just having a sneak peek or some proper link into the MCU would have been brilliant. But honestly, it's so frustrating. It insults the fans, especially when you see that trailer as well. Like, say we did the review on it, and honestly, my blood was boiling. That's why I didn't go and see it at the cinema, because it was just terrible. It looked terrible, and when I finally saw it, it was terrible. Now, let's talk about I don't know if you can call him the big bad, but we'll talk about Knull. Now, they use Andy Serkis as his like motion capture and like voice, I think, and stuff like that. And he's supposed to be an almighty, like, god of the symbiotes. It should have been like the storyline for this film. But you bring in into live action as well, and that, like, you can tell this person's supposed to be like whole boy sort of thing. But they just did nothing with him in that lot. We got like a half-hearted tease, sending his little like Xenomorph bloody monster things after Venom and that lot. And there was just nothing. There was no build up to the character itself to explain who he was, really. Apart from a few little like backstories saying, oh, he's the god of the symbiotes and we locked him away and I've got this key thing on my back now that I've saved you and da-da-da-da. And then that was it. And he's like, we're supposed to expect him to come back. And there was like rumours of him being in the new Spiderman film. Like, hell is it? It's just so pointless now. Like, it just... one of like the MCU's, well, the Marvel's biggest villains for Venom, and they did nothing with him. Absolutely sodding nothing. It was absolutely pointless. I feel bad for Andy Serkis to be connected to this film because it was just terrible. It was like basically advertising Thanos to be in Avengers Endgame, and then he wasn't really in it, and he sends all his goons out. That's what it was like. It was just so frustrating, so bad, and just like the visuals as well. The visuals in this looked terrible. Like the CGI sometimes looked like video game boss fights, and I mean bad, like probably PS2 sort of era video game boss fights. It just looked terrible. Like the symbiotes fighting the Xenomorph things didn't lack any real weight or grit. You wasn't really bothered about when like a symbiote got ate and like it was like shredding them out of its back and stuff. It was bad. It was really, really bad. And it just, considering this was supposed to be like the last Venom movie in that lot, it's probably for the best because it was just so embarrassing. And it was just so bad. Like, at the end of the day, Venom: The Last Dance was a letdown on everything. A messy story, wasted characters, trying to retcon stuff but not actually retcon stuff, and just all that crap. Mishandling Knull, which they could have just done so much better with that character. And how Sony closed this Venom trilogy off was probably the least most exciting way or anything at all, because it was just crap. It really was crap like that, and they just need to go, Disney, Marvel, just take it, spend $5 billion, whatever it is, just take it off our hands, because the MCU would use Venom, Spiderman, the whole shebang so much better than Sony have, and it's a real letdown. Like I say, Venom 1 and 2, we'll talk about them as well now, eventually down the line, but them two are so good films. Now, to end it like this, was such a damp squib. Really, really wasn't enough. But anyway, that's enough of me moaning. What did you think about Venom: The Last Dance? Did you enjoy it? Was there anything you really could take from it? Or are you like me, where it was just appalling? Really was. But anyway, thanks for joining another episode of Marvel Mad Review, and we'll see you next time on another episode of Marvel Mad. Thanks a lot, guys, and see you soon.